mouse ever do to you? Nothing good happens when you play with the mouse in public.
Every time I touch this mouse in public, bad things happen.
Bad things happen.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the two Dum Yinzers. It's Friday morning. It is episode 253, and it is a hell of a lot colder than it was yesterday at this time.
Oh, you're telling me.
Mike, it was 70 degrees, 70 degrees, which I mean is odd in February to begin with, but
Yeah.
it was 70 degrees yesterday.
hmm
And today, I think the highs were like 30.
Something like that. Yeah, it is insane how cold it is.
It,
It's 32 right now. I can't get over this cold that I have. I am miserable, cranky.
really feels like
I just
everybody has something right now, too.
yeah, I just want to just curl up into a hole and die.
And the whole, the weather being so extreme and changing from one to the end of the other, that's not going to
Mhm.
help any.
No, it's just gonna make it worse.
Yeah,
Like I have like a constant chill about me right now, and I don't like it. Maybe I'm gonna die. So
maybe.
shit, there goes the camera.
Look
There
at
goes
that.
the show.
See, that was a sign.
I got the tripod out there. It's a new setup, You can see new lights, new cameras, the
Okay.
tripod's there. It just has me all messed up. I'm not used to it being there.
Appears to be in shambles there, man.
It is my
Shambles.
world is in shambles. I did survive a week long meeting at work, so
Oh
I have
yeah.
that going for me. I still have brain function. Yeah.
You think that's impressive? Listen to this. Did you see this Dominican guy? Well, apparently Heinz, the ketchup company, of course,
Mm-hmm.
they are searching. They're searching for this Dominican fellow who survived 24 days at sea. He was out there and he was on his vessel and he was
Uh-huh.
24 days like with only a bottle of ketchup, and he survived. He made it. He's back somewhere. They're trying to hunt him down because
Uh-huh.
they're gonna hook him up.
Yeah.
But this dude, he was out at sea. He got lost or whatever. I don't know whatever happened. He
Mm-hmm.
was stuck out there for 24 days, and all he had was a bottle of Heinz ketchup and some seasoning or something like this. So this guy, he survived eating nothing but ketchup for almost a month. So they're hunting him
I
down. Like I said, they want to hook him up.
yeah.
They want to buy him a new vessel. Is what they're.
Yeah, definitely buy him a new vessel. But I'd be worried, like, because at that point, after eating nothing but ketchup for a month, like if he's eating just your brain for a month, there's a possibility he might not want to see that because that's going to trigger, bad memories of being lost for a month.
Maybe if they give him something, they give him a boat. It doesn't say Heinz on the side, or
That's
it doesn't have
true.
a big
Yeah,
ketchup bottle on the.
yeah. Maybe this was this guy's protest to get, to rename Acrisure Stadium back to Heinz Field. My man is a deep Steeler fan, and this was his protest.
I like it.
I think he did it right, and he was like, you know what? I'm bringing awareness to the situation on a global level.
Highly doubtful, but I dig it. I like it. It would be a great
Galaxy brain
story,
play. It
and they
was a
could always
Galaxy. He knew what he was doing, man. He was not messing around.
they could get a big person to play him in a movie.
Yeah, I'll play him in the movie.
Mike, he's a Dominican guy. He looks nothing like you. Nothing like you. I've seen the picture.
Nothing like fat, bald, and out of shape. That's
Yeah. And the most important part, Mike, not white either. Okay. Fuck. What the hell's wrong with
I
you?
think that went without saying.
Well, I mean, you said fat and bald and dumb and whatever else you said. I just thought, geez, oh man, you forgot to put in your white.
I'm not. I'm pale.
Anyway,
I've
the
gone beyond
also
white.
the ketchup guy. Another
Mm-hmm.
story this morning, Mike. Before we get started into sports, Rihanna, she popped back up. Her big halftime show
Mm-hmm.
went over, and do you know how many? Now I don't get me wrong. I'm not coming at you at this. I dig Rihanna and I dig the show, and I'm just kind of finding all this stuff entertaining.
Uh-huh.
Well, she is going to perform at the Oscars here,
Uh-huh.
but the other part to this, Mike, Rihanna, she drew 103 FCC complaints for her halftime show.
That I'm surprised that was it. Just
Uh,
103.
103 complaints.
You could have kittens out there and they would draw complaints to the FCC.
I mean, I guess he could have been a white Dominican, but he wasn't a white Dominican. I just want to make that clear. I don't want to leave any mixed messages out there. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
he wasn't a white Dominican. Okay,
No,
okay. But yeah, I'm surprised it was only 103.
103. And this FCC. I mean, they sit there with the tightest asses ever and pin pick every fucking little thing that they could see, and
They're probably like, yeah, 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 yeah. It's probably like there's organizations out there that have like form letters that they give to their people, and here, send it in. Here's how you fill it in, and this is how you should fill it in for this, that, or the other. So they're probably used to this by now, and they're like, whatever. Unless there was like something egregious, they're not going to do anything.
I always do like the people that are a little bit rebellious against the FCC. It's always been some of my favorite stuff, in radio and television and things like that. So I do dig. Again, I did see that it was 103.
I thought I wanted, you got to pump. Those are rookie numbers, Rihanna. Your next performance, you got to
well, she's playing the Oscars, so give it time. We got a couple weeks.
I hope she performs with like her baby bump out, and people will lose their minds over that.
I want her to go out and not even have a baby bump.
Ooh,
that would be crazy. Mike, China says the United States refuses to share information on the Chinese air balloon that we shot down last week.
Well,
apparently they're pissed off because we are not sharing the information back with them from the balloon that we shot down that was spying. Apparently, from what I understand, it was eyeing places up that would be military targets if anything would ever go down, is what I heard on the news, which I don't know. But they are upset. China is upset that we won't give them that information that the balloons collected.
That, you know what? A for effort.
Yeah.
You're dumb to like not try.
Right.
You would be dumb to not say, hey, can you share some of that with us? So
goofy,
A for effort.
As goofy as these American politicians are, you might as well take a shot.
Roll the dice, baby.
They might
say, dice, see what happens. Someone be like, oh yeah. I'm like, then fuck, no. But no. A for effort from China. I give them credit. This is why like they have a lot of geniuses over there. They're like this more big brain play. So far in these first couple stories, there's been a lot of big brain plays. Our Dominican guy protesting the naming of Heinz Field. Now China doing the big brain play of like, hey, give us back our data. If I was China, I'd be arguing, you stole our stuff. You shot down our property. You're in the wrong, not us. That's how I would play it.
You just created a whole Enquirer with your stories.
Mm-hmm.
the protesting Dominican.
Yeah, I'm just making it up as I go. It's been a long week.
It's Friday, Mike. It's Friday, brother. All we got to do, we got an hour. We got an hour. We'll knock this out.
Well, I am drained. All
the weird things that you do on the weekend, and all will be well.
I do want to say, I at work, I've been staring at a computer screen for 5.5 hours a day for the past 4 days. People who do it for 8, 10, 12 hours a day, I have a newfound respect for you. I can't do that. My eyes hurt.
Can I recommend something? This is real.
What's that?
Put a bag over your head. Just do it. Do it now.
No, I don't have a bag handy.
Pillowcase.
No.
Put something over your fucking head. Holy shit. Mike, we do got some
jackass.
A disaster happened last night in Pittsburgh. And I can't say that you didn't guess the score. It was 7-2, Mike. Final score. You said it was either going to be 7-2 or 6-2. And you also said that Letang, Crosby, or Malkin would score. Letang scored both goals, and Crosby and Malkin both got assists. Malkin with 2, Crosby with 1. So you hit it.
They are not the problem. I hit it, baby.
You hit it right on the head. Not we now dropped with Detroit's win over New York last night. We dropped to the 10th spot in the East now.
Oh, that's not good at all.
This team, Mike, is free falling. They're free falling fast. Jari started. I thought, okay, maybe, just maybe, things will be okay. He gets yanked.
Mm-hmm.
Casey DeSmith only let up 1 goal, but at that point in the game. But you did, Mike. You predicted it. You said either 7-3 or 6-3.
Yes, I did.
Or 6-2. And you know what? I'll give you that because you gave me my Super Bowl, which was really close. So Mike, it was impressive. You nailed it. You knew what kind of game it was going to be. I said 4-1. When it was 4-1 in the second period, I thought, geez, if nobody else scores the rest of the game, I'm going to get it. But
Yeah.
that wasn't the case. Edmonton just kept scoring. It was, Mike, it was very bad. It was a terrible game to watch. I was glad that the XFL was coming on shortly thereafter. But I thought the most entertaining part of the game was when the fans all started to chant "Fire Hextall."
Yes. I had to wake up way early, so I missed the game. And I get up, I wake up. First thing I do is I check Twitter, and all I see is fans chant. I'm like, what the hell are they chanting? Fire. Then it was like Fire Hextall, Fire Hextall, Fire
Beautiful.
Hextall.
I love
a
things like
thing
this.
of beauty. I love it. It reminds me of the year that the Penguins chased him when he was playing goalie. He got yanked. They started "We Want Hextall," and they brought him back in. He kept scoring on him. So this is his revenge. He's dismantling this team. He is destroying this.
He's nothing but a loser. He's never, like you said before, Mike. He's nothing. He's never done anything. Nothing. What were we thinking? We could revitalize this guy, and he could come do it.
I don't know why they hired him. To be honest with you, he must have had a really good interview process of going, hey, this is my vision for the team, blah, blah,
sure
blah.
He's not a bad guy, but geez, oh man,
my Lord, it's been a terrible hire. He's handing out bad contracts. He's not making any trades, no moves. Like, we traded John Marino to get Ty Smith. Now, Ty Smith's sitting down in the minor leagues because we have $8,100 or $80,000 in cap space. We can't call this guy up. We can't dress players because they're hurt, because we have no cap space. Because let's extend Jeff Carter. Let's extend Kasperi Kapanen.
I think you just got to stick a fork in these guys. They're done. They're done.
They are. And to quote Mike Sullivan, or to paraphrase Mike Sullivan here, you'll see it on the thumbnail. I don't know if this was an intentional shot at Hextall, or he just said what was on his mind and did not filter his thoughts. Like, our roster is our roster. We have who we have. Yeah. I think this was in response to him being asked, why do you keep putting out the same lineup, and the results, there's no change in the results. So
they switched it around a little bit. It's eventually last night. Yeah. They switched the first two lines around. I think they put Malkin on one, Crosby. Here's the thing, Mike. Yeah. Well, Crosby comes out, and he commented this morning, last night perhaps, and he says, we weren't trying to send a message by this.
Yeah, that was another thing I saw. Yeah.
So, I don't not believe him. I think that they're just really playing really bad hockey, and
they are. And it's not Crosby or Letang, Malkin that we said, or even I want to throw in Rackle, Gensel, and Zucker. Those six right there are producing the way they are.
Yeah.
There was I'm going to pull up the article from Josh Yohe that he wrote in The Athletic.
Yeah.
And he called out 11 players that have been playing subpar this year.
11 players. There's only 20 guys on a team.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if
I can mention the 6 guys that you just mentioned, and then Yari.
Here's the quote, the paragraph. Let's be real. The Penguins aren't going anywhere. Jeff Carter, Brock McGinn, Kasperi Kapanen, Josh Archibald, Teddy Bluger, Jeff Petrie, Chad Ruedel, Brian Dumoulin, Brian Russ, Casey DeSmith, and Jari have all have something in common at the moment. They have been profound disappointments. That's 11 players. That's more than half the team. And he is right. Like, even if you haven't watched the games, you just go through and look at their stat lines and advanced stats. These players have been disappointments on the year. And Brian Dumoulin I have never seen a defenseman fall off this fast in the NHL. Yeah. He, like 2 years ago, he was still one of the better lockdown players in the league on defense. You trusted him out there in key situations. Now you don't really trust him at all. Brian Rush, you used to be able to count on him to score in big moments. He hasn't had that. It's just disaster after disaster. And Kasperi Kapanen has never lived up to his potential as a former first-round pick. It's Jeff Carter. His talk about someone who has fallen off. This guy might be done. And he's signed for what, another year or two? He has a no movement clause. You're stuck with him. Brock McGinn, I think he's just out there skating, getting cardio in. This is his workout. What does he do? It's just a sad state of affairs right now.
The hardest part is there's still so much season left. And at some point in this part of the season with any sport, football, basketball, baseball, hockey, you say to yourself, there's still a lot of season left, but there's time to turn things around. I don't get that feel right now, Mike. It just feels like there's a free fall. They're falling fast. And, like you said, most of the team isn't performing. It's unbelievable. They do have a little bit of a they're throwing them a bone tomorrow night. They go to St. Louis and play. They're playing both days on the weekend.
Yeah.
They go to St. Louis. They play the Blues, who are only 26, 28, and 4. In theory, us sitting at 27, 21, and 9, that would be an advantage. But you know what? Just the way we're playing, just because we do have Sidney Crosby, Getty Malkin, and Tang, I do kind of give them that edge just because. But I mean, we keep calling these must wins, and they keep losing every single one, like every game.
Every game, and they've have all these games in hand. And like I said, when we first talked about that, the games in hand, they need to do something with them, and they have not. Right now, they're out of the wild card spot. The Islanders have the first spot, followed by the Red Wings, and then the Panthers, and then the Penguins.
You know what I can see them doing?
But look out though! Right behind us are the Sabres and the Capitals, 1 point behind. This is a precarious situation. This might be the first time in 16 years we have not made the playoffs. That's insane.
What a year to be a Pittsburgh sports fan,
right?
Unless if you don't, especially if you don't like college sports, and you're really into.
Oh yeah, you're screwed. You were screwed. I just can't wait for the Pirate fans to come out and try and laugh at the Penguins and laugh at the Steelers. But ha ha ha, you see, you didn't make the playoffs, or ha ha ha, you had a bad year. Like, yeah, a bad year for these teams is having winning records and being in contention.
Only 35 more days, Mike.
Only 35 more days until the season's officially over for your Pittsburgh Pirates, baby.
I usually like to give it to 30. I take it to 36. I like to give them that first day, have a little hope, and then day 2 you could call it over.
Normally there's a month and a half for Bucko baseball where
they play that good week. Remember there's that good week they get in there where they win 4 games in a row, 5 games. You're like, hey, it's a baseball team.
But you can pencil it in every year by all-star game. They're not going to do anything.
I'm just going to go into this because I have it in front of me. We're talking about it. However, we're still on the Penguins, but the Pirates, Mike, they have the third lowest payroll in the league, which is no surprise, of course. The first, which is $60 million is their payroll. The Oakland A's is 40. The Baltimore Orioles is 50 million.
That is insane.
We're sitting at third at 60 million. Excuse me. The fourth team in this group of 5 to the bottom 5, the Tampa Bay Rays, 64. Not much less than us, or more than us, I'm sorry. And then the Reds are sitting at the 5th spot with $70 million. That's it in a nutshell right there. You're not gonna do anything. And the funny thing about it, Mike, look at the 4 other teams. And I can recall in the past 10 years, there's been points where the A's got good.
Yeah.
And there's been a point where the Reds, I think the Reds had a team. Nice team.
like kind of like when the Pirates
and the Rays.
Good. The Rays were good. The Rays had
so that's basically seems to be the going rate for these bottom, these bottom feeders, these 5 teams. I can think probably about 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. And still at that point, they weren't legitimate contenders. They were, they were good enough to crack a playoff spot and were gone pretty, soon after. So, I mean, that's what we have. That's where we're at. This is where we're at with Pittsburgh sports this year, 2022, 2023. Hopefully it gets better.
I love it. And like the Buccos, just imagine if they had an owner that cared. This team wouldn't be that bad because they have some talent on this team. And if you had an owner who cared, owner willing to spend money, you have fans that want to come out and watch. This team could be a perennial contender in Major League Baseball, even though Pittsburgh is a quote unquote small market, but that they're bigger markets than some of these other teams in baseball that are competing.
If you're competing, people will get behind your team.
Yes, yeah,
and we've learned that. You've seen what happened here.
Mm-hmm. And those money will come rolling in.
There's my man. What's going on? PP's chiming in on the chat. How you doing, man? This is why American sports need promotion. Really, would prevent owners from robbing fans. Absolutely. Haven't talked to you in a couple of days. How you doing, P?
I agree. Yeah, promotion, relegation. Because you have to pay. Because if you get relegated, guess what, man? You're losing revenue. So you're going to start losing players. That forces you to spend money to be competitive.
Absolutely, man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And like I said, we've seen it like when those 2.5, 3 years that they had a decent team 10 years ago. My God, if you wasn't downtown buying shirts off the guy at the corner, if you weren't downtown eating from the vendors, if it was weird. Everybody had to be a part of this, Mike. They had to get that playoff ticket. They had to call off work to it was unbelievable. And the fact that they don't want to see that again, or they're not making an effort to see that again, and how much money and revenue that must be, it really pisses me off, man. And you know,
so
frustrating, man.
It was too. Yeah, I wasn't living in the area at the time. I was still living in or further in Ohio around Dayton, and my God, like even people there were talking about these Buccos and how exciting it was to see this team back in it, because they were like, the Reds were down there. They're like, people were excited to see this going on. Like, finally, there's some teams in our division other than the Cardinals and the Cubs going at it. We have, the Pirates there, the Reds are there. It was a competitive scene. People who love baseball like to see, because the Pirates have a rich history of baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, you go, in the very first Hall of Fame class, Honus Wagner, Pittsburgh Pirate.
Yeah.
Okay. We have some of the greatest players of all time came through this organization, and it's just, a sad state of affairs.
And with 5 World Series that dates back, 100 years, that's still more than some clubs have.
Yeah. We played in some of the very first World Series.
And an amazing World Series in 1960 against the Yankees with Mazeroski's walk-off, the 2 in the 70s against the O's. Mike, and here's the thing, there's no kid in this part of the state that doesn't play Little League baseball. There's certainly a market for baseball. People can dig baseball. It's not like baseball is a a forgotten thing in Pittsburgh. That's not the case. People would love it, man. They would love it. You know what I did that year? One of those years that they were good? I hired the Pirate Parrot to come to my kid's birthday party. You see what I'm saying? I'm just one person. And you know what else I did? I also got really good tickets and got my son, because this was for his birthday. I got good tickets down there, and I got his name on the scoreboard for, a happy birthday. Yeah. So you see what I'm saying? Look at what with just the idea of this team being a better team and being somewhat in the race, people will come out and they'll spend money. They'll do what, the things that you do when you have a good team. I just can't believe that these idiots with Bob Nothing and his cronies up there.
Yeah.
They're just so happy with the way it is. Dude, you could make so much more money. This guy is he's like I said yesterday, he's making a mockery of the city, and it's a shame. It's a shame. I encourage people, please don't go to Pirate games.
No. And like,
I'm not being a dick or anything like that. I'm just saying, if you ever expect anything to change for this franchise, you have to, you got to be proactive. And by being proactive, it's do nothing. Don't go. Don't go down there. Don't spend your money. That's the only language they're going to understand, is when they're not making more money. Don't go. This will fix the problem eventually. They're going to hear your voice if you start keeping if you keep your money from them.
Yeah. And he has more or less a free stadium that, Allegheny County is paying for.
It's getting upgraded.
Yeah. Pete, your 128 batting average lifetime in Little League, you might be a starter on this Pirates team. This is how bad this
team you want to play baseball?
Yeah. Head on down to Bradenton, Florida. You just walk onto the field, man. They probably won't know.
They got the Yankees and the Orioles in a couple weeks, man.
Man, he get a contract. You won't get much because the owner's
it works for us. We had a sumo wrestling team where the guy was no good. Mike went and joined right up, and it went fine. Remember, Mike?
Oh, hell yeah! Until I blew up my hammy.
Until you were dragging the bottom half of your body across the floor like a dog.
I couldn't walk anymore.
Matt, it was such a weird. Anyway,
well, that was going to be my strategy. I was going to walk across. I'm like,
yeah. You thought I was just dragging the bottom part of your body.
But then I got that diaper in the face, and
Remember the stink face?
Rikishi,
yeah. He's dead.
No, he's still alive.
Oh, no, Rikishi? Oh, I'm thinking of Yokozuna.
Yokozuna's dead. Yeah, Rikishi's still alive. I'm gonna say he was just posting about his mother the other day.
Yeah,
how he misses her. Yeah, that's the Usos' dad, man.
For P, I'm not really I wasn't a good baseball player either. I was always getting hit in the face with the ball. That was my big thing. I was okay in football. I mean, I had stuff over my. I mean, it wasn't great, but my body was protected. I just didn't want to get whacked right in the eye or the nose with the
Is
ball.
I never played baseball, like organized baseball when I was little. My brothers did. I went right into soccer. I found my wheelhouse.
Man, we didn't have soccer. Um, but yeah, Mike,
Baseball was always boring to me. I never wanted to play anyway.
like I said, everybody here plays baseball. If you're if you're a kid, you play little league. That's how you just kind of get started. I think they just throw
Oh
you out
God, yeah.
there and
Oh, dude, your area is just riddled with baseball.
yeah.
And baseball parents might be the worst parents of them all.
Let's get back to the Penguins for a brief moment here, Mike, so we can finish that up. They have the Blues tomorrow, so they have a day to try to regroup. I think there's going to be one of these days they're going to pull off a win. They're going to find one of these teams who are kind of on a sad streak like we are, and we're going to get a win, and people are going to get excited for a day,
And then it's going to
and then it's going to go
collapse.
back. Yeah, we come, like I said, then the very next day we come home to play Tampa Bay, who's always tough for us when we're a good
Yeah.
team.
Like, talk about a franchise that has been, really hasn't had that drop off.
They've been very consistent. You
It's been
gotta say,
so
man.
good, man. And you forget, man, this how good that team has been for a long time. They're like that forgotten franchise in this era. They have 3 cups down there, just like we do. Just like they have more than LA and Chicago in this span. But people always want to talk about the Penguins, Chicago, and LA, but they always forget about Tampa Bay.
Absolutely. And the Tampa Bay Lightning, like I said, they are not a bad team, Mike. 36,
No.
17-4. You know what? It should be okay, though, because Donnie Iris will be there for his 80th birthday, singing the national anthem.
If that's not going to pump up this group of young, of this core, who probably have no idea who Donnie Iris is, I don't know what's going to pump them up.
Yes, that was for sure. And the thing about football, like I said, I didn't mind with the hitting and that because you're totally protected. I always thought the batting helmet in baseball was such a dumb idea. I mean, you cover the back of your head, but the whole front of your head's open. And to me, that's the most important. You get a fastball to the eye or the teeth or the nose. Fuck.
Yeah, they always want to talk about all hockey players should wear visors and stuff, but no one ever wants to make baseball more safe. Or safer, excuse me.
Hockey's crazy too. I mean, the puck is shooting 130 miles an hour and you have nothing covering your face. Come on.
That's because hockey players are men and baseball players.
I don't care nothing about that. If there's a puck flying in anybody's face 130 miles an hour, man.
Look, Eddie Johnson coached a game after getting hit in the face and he's bleeding on the
That's
bench.
like a tornado, like being on a tornado getting whapped in the face with just debris. You know what I mean?
Cow getting hit by a cow. We got a cow. I'm going completely off the rails here.
Like we do tomorrow big game. There's another big game. If you're kind of bummed out about the Penguins, click over at 5:00, or if you'd like to make it down to Oakland, Syracuse might be one of the biggest games of the year. Syracuse is coming to Pitt. They need to win this to stay on track to pull this, to try to win the ACC, Mike.
Yes.
You have 3 games left. You have a bad Syracuse. I mean, not a bad. I mean, they're just not good. You have an okay Syracuse team.
Mm-hmm.
You got Notre Dame, who's down at the bottom, and then the big game, the big matchup next weekend with who am I thinking, Mike? With Miami. So tomorrow, all starts with tomorrow with Syracuse. I think that we could beat this team handily, but college basketball, so it's going to be a really good one. Get down to the Pete if you can't check it out. I'm sure it's going to be on ACC Network. Syracuse at Pitt. They win this one, then it comes down to Notre Dame and Miami.
Oof.
We control our own destiny, Mike. We are the team that controls their own destiny. With 3 wins, we win the conference. There's nothing that anybody could do. You can't take that away from us. If we win these 3, we are the ACC champions.
They should win out. They better win out. I hope they win out. They need to win out.
The part that gets me, I thought we could upset Miami if we wouldn't have beat them already. I think it's going to be really hard to beat them twice in a season. It's always hard to beat a good team twice in a season. But you know what? I think that Pitt's kind of having one of them seasons. Like it might just be their year, So I'm excited about that.
I hope so. I hate trying to type and talk at the same time. I'm sorry.
We had 12-year-olds throwing 7. Yeah, you ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. And there was like one team all had one. Like they broke it up. They didn't have all the great kids on one team. So every team that you played, you had to face that, their ace. And it was I hated it, man. I recall just hating playing. I mean, I loved it when I loved baseball. But I was a mess. I was constantly worried.
See, that's why I didn't play.
Big XFL game last night, Mike. Jim Hazlitt's coached St. Louis Battlehawks. Remember, I remember they had Jim Hazlitt used to be here for a minute, and then also their offensive coordinator, of course, Brad Gronkowski from the area, was also a quarterback for the Steelers briefly. That team, the Seattle Battlehawks, beat Ben DiNucci's Seattle Sea Dragons.
No, see your boy Ben DiNucci. He couldn't win.
I tell you what,
XFL.
he had a hell of a game, and he killed it. He had a really nice touchdown pass to Cribbs. It was a fun game, man. It was a good one. I really enjoyed it. And then we got 3 more still this weekend. They take today off. Tomorrow, DC plays at Vegas, and that, of course, is Vegas's Rod Woodson squad.
Yes, Rod Woodson.
San Antonio, which is Hines Ward's team. They're at Atlanta at 4:00 on Sunday. And then on the late game on Sunday is Arlington at Houston at 7:00. I'm digging it, man. Week 2 of the XFL. You know, it really pissed me off, though. It said it was on ESPN. So I get ready. I go over there, and there's some other fucking hockey game on. Like, I mean, it wasn't us. It was somebody else.
It was on ESPN Plus. Or
Nashville.
Yeah.
Nashville. Well, that was the thing. So then I went to ESPN Plus, and it didn't give me access this time like it did last week.
Yeah.
So I had to go in. It was on FX, Mike.
Yeah, FX.
So there was like all these options. And I literally went through them all until I finally got to the last one, which was FX, and that's the one that worked. But like I said, I love it. I love watching football this time of year. I love watching football year round. I'll take it. Like I said, good game, man. There was a lot of good things that happened during this game. St. Louis got a really tough defense. These guys they hit hard. There's some guys that you can see showing up in the NFL, man. No two ways about it.
I can't wait this weekend. I do want to watch some XFL. Hopefully, I should have the time. I love football, and you know, XFL, USFL. I will sit there and watch, given the opportunity, because it's football. Football is one of the few sports I can sit down and watch any 2 teams play.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Like hockey is, I think hockey is because of the announcers, because we grew up spoiled with Mike Lang. I can't watch any other team's hockey just because the announcers suck.
There's a few of them that are good. And the thing is, I don't keep track of them when I hear them, but every once in a while, like when I watch the hockey game, I'm like, oh, he's not bad.
Yeah,
you know?
There's a couple.
Mike, to the important stuff here. Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Sims, Calvin Austin III, Connor Hayward, Gunner, and Cody White are all in Florida right now, putting in work, Mike. They're down there.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks, receivers, trying to they're in Miami, trying to put it together and get everything down and get timing down and get familiar with one another. And it's in February. I like this. I like the work.
I do too.
It's a good sign. You know, because if you do this, and you know, there's gonna be progress made, obviously. So I'm excited. There's gonna be you know, these guys are gonna grow confident in one another. And you know, they're hanging out. They're just going to create that rapport, and you know, that goes a long way, I think, sometimes, especially in team sports. So really exciting stuff, man. Yes, I would like to see a few of the guys had, you know, they put their Instagram posts up and things like that. I'd like to just watch these guys, you know, just like be able to watch them on video and like just follow them around, because we're very interested. You know, this is the Steelers, and this is what the big thing is right now. So I would love to just be behind this constantly, seeing the progress and the process, and you know, just check it out, man.
I do like how, you know, Trubisky is down there as well. Because, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, he doesn't want to be here. He wants to leave. He wants to go. If he really wants to leave and is not 100% in, why is he down there working with these guys?
You know, maybe he just wants to work.
Yeah, you know? He wants to work. And, you know, maybe he knows that, hey, you know, in this league, you know, how many teams played their second string quarterback? A lot of, just about every single team had
every team had issues this year.
So why leave this situation? Because you never know. You're one play away from stepping in. You already know the system. You already know the team, and you know, might as well stay here. Or you know, like you said, he just wants to work. Or you know, he's showing everyone that, hey, he's that guy of like, hey, even if I'm not starting, I'm still going to be the same guy I am. I'm still going to go out there and work, and I'm not going to boo-boo, and I'm going to support my team. And fuck yeah, this is the kind of guy you want on your roster. He's out there working with the quarterback who more or less took his job.
I dig. Like I said, I really respect that he's down there.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, this time last year,
Yeah, Dwayne.
What's up?
Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, this was the part of the year when that tragedy
Mm-hmm.
happened. But it's nice to see these guys. They want to get down there. They want to get out where it's warm and continue to work together, play, learn the playbook. It's good. I dig it, Mike. I really do. I think this is great news for the Pittsburgh Steelers at the moment because, like I said, this was the issue. This is what we needed to work on. So
Yep.
they are working. Um,
Oh, excuse me.
this one here must have been made especially for you. Caught me by
Uh-oh.
guard. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to argue or fight because it caught me by surprise. By the way of local television station WTAE reported, and I don't know who they get it from, but the odds, Mike, of Kenny Pickett. Now, no, hear me out. I'm just a messenger. Don't shoot me because I'm going to laugh along with you. Kenny Pickett, Mike, has 40-1 odds to be the 2023 NFL MVP. Where did they get who for one? For one, how do you come up with this? And I want to know who has less. You know what I'm saying? Like after such a bizarre
Who?
year, in the way that
Yeah.
last year went, to even make that. I mean, that's such that's not terrible odds in the big scheme of things, right?
Yeah. And my God, what was this? Kenny 7 touchdowns over here. I don't see it. Like, what are they doing? Grading on a curve?
They gotta be.
He's not even the best quarterback in the AFC North.
No.
Now, hold on. I have to look up. Hold on.
Yeah, please make this make sense because you know that I'm a Kenny Pickett guy, Mike, and I can't even fathom how this became a whose odds are longer.
Oh my Lord.
And like I said, if a miracle would happen, that would become the case. I would be thrilled to death. But come on, 40-1. That's not terrible.
So behind him, we have Jared Goff, Matt Stafford, Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr, Daniel Jones, Mac Jones, Matt Ryan, Jimmy G.
I mean, where are they at as compared to like to the odds? What's the
um so
where's this from? Is this from Vegas?
Yeah, this is from, I'm just going on where am I at? Sportsbettingdime.com.
Sportsbettingdime.com.
I don't know if this is where we got the 40-1, but he's plus 40 or plus 4,000, so that's probably 40-1. So Goff 45 plus 4,500. Stafford's plus 5,000. So is Kyler Murray and Kirk Cousins and Derek Carr and Daniel Jones, who all had better numbers and better seasons than Kenny Pickett. Then down from there, it's like Mac Jones, Matt at plus 6,000, Matt Ryan at plus 6,500 with Garoppolo. Then you have like Sam Howell and Sam Darnold at plus 8,000. Then Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson both at plus 10,000. So they're like 101 to win the MVP. And I think Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson have a better chance than Kenny Pickett of making it into the MVP race.
To be honest with you, Mike, all those people that you were saying that were below him, I don't think stand a chance to be MVP of the NFL. Think about it. Just stop for a minute. Just take Kenny Pickett out of your head for a minute. And just think of what the NFL MVP is, what that means, who it generally is. Think of the seasons that guy usually has, historically, just back through the years. I saw it. I thought I have to talk about this. But like I said, being a big Kenny Pickett guy, I obviously don't think in a million years that he's going to be in the NFL. Not next year. I mean, come on, that's crazy.
That is ridiculous. This.
I mean, they better they better be doing some mad training in Miami, like with steroids. You know what I mean? Like,
he's gonna have to put
MVP.
MVP.
That's what Mahomes is.
Mahomes is the MVP. Okay, I'm gonna pull up Mahomes' stat line for the year. This is what Kenny Pickett's gonna have to put up to be in the MVP consideration. Mahomes, 5,250 yards passing, 41 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. This is what Kenny Pickett's going to have
well, he
to
has
do.
the 12 interceptions down pat.
He has that.
He has half of the yards. He has the interceptions. We just got to get them touchdowns up.
We're gonna get that touchdowns up. We got to get the completion percentage up. Yeah, that's what Mahomes did. And Mahomes also had 4 rushing touchdowns. Kenny had a couple as well.
And it wasn't even clear cut that it was going to be Mahomes either. You know, Jalen Hurts was
Jalen
right
Hurts
there.
was in there. Yeah.
So I mean, you know, come on.
This is ridiculous. My
Yeah,
Lord.
but, you know, shit, go put $100 on it, because if it hits, damn.
Yeah, but look at Jalen Hurts, 22 touchdowns, 6 picks.
Yeah,
and he also had 13 rushing touchdowns.
Again, you know, you're not getting an argument out of me, Mike. I'm as confused as everybody else is. I posted it up on the site this morning before the show, just so people could, you know. But I thought, you know, make this make sense, man. I mean, just being a realistic person, not even. You know, yeah, I'm a homer as far as my Pittsburgh teams, and I do like Kenny, but I mean, come on, just as a person with an ounce of common sense would have to think. And if it happened, I mean, it would be freaking amazing, and the team would probably do really well. But like I said, come on, you know, come on,
get out of here with that, Mike. But I guarantee you, there are Steeler fans and Kenny Pickett diehards that are saying those odds are too high. He should be a lot lower. Like, you know, Andrew Filipponi's probably saying he should be 1-to-1.
Yeah,
the best
your
quarterback in the league. That's your. Oh, I hate that guy. He's the worst.
Speaking of other things that don't make sense, Cam Hayward, Mike, not only was the best player on the Steelers defense somehow, we talked about that a couple of days ago.
Oh yeah,
but now he lands, Mike. Get this, Cam Hayward lands inside the top 5 of the 25 best interior defensive linemen from 2022, according to the PFF. Top 5, Mike. The guy played 5 good games. He played 5 top 5 games.
I don't.
He played 12 games that were average at best.
Yeah, I don't see the love affair of Cam Hayward.
I don't get it at all. I don't get it at all.
Because
is it because he was such a funny guy at the All-Pro weekend, and he was on camera.
He's great with the media. He is great with the media, and they overlook his deficiencies. They don't, when games where he gets dominated, they don't talk about it.
He went on, had one or two tackles, or
but they'll make the excuse, oh, he was just tying up that offensive line. Meanwhile, you know, he's getting blocked 15, 20 yards downfield.
Exactly. Yeah. The first 9 games, we couldn't stop anybody on the run.
He's getting blown off the ball. He's getting beat by guards you never even heard of. But we don't talk about the bad with Cam Hayward. We talk about the good. Okay? Good only where Minkah Fitzpatrick, the heart and soul of this defense,
the guy who there wasn't a play that didn't go by that I wasn't impressed with him.
You nitpick every single play that he does because, you know, he, you know, didn't cover up for our shitty corners and then left himself exposed when he did cover up for him. And when he doesn't cover up for him, he gets yelled at for that. So when he does try to help them out, media yells at him for that. So,
like I said, Mike, there wasn't 5 plays in a row that you didn't see Minkah Fitzpatrick involved in a play. I could think of 5 games in a row where Cam Hayward was insignificant, especially when we were getting ran all over before we had that little revitalization of the defense, you know, halfway through the season. Yeah. Like there was an easy 5 games in a row where he was very unimpressive.
Yeah, he's stealing his contract from the Steelers, but, you know, he does just enough. I think it's the thing. I don't dislike the guy. I mean, come on. Yeah, he's he's under contract till 2025. It expires in 2025.
Well, back on the camera or behind the microphone, we might say, Cam Hayward says he sees a possible return potential in Mr. Martavius Bryant to the NFL after watching him in the first week of the XFL. He said, this guy still has the talent. He still looks like he's head and shoulders better than these guys that are out there. You know what? I don't disagree. Martavius looks good, Mike. You think Martavius will ever see the NFL again?
I can see him getting a tryout, you know, getting, you know, invited to a camp, but I don't think anyone's going to offer him a contract of boom, here you go. Right. It's going to be one of those tryout contracts, like come in and like approve
the Cowboys or somebody.
Yeah, like the Steelers, you know, we're going to need receiver depth, but I don't think it's going to be Martavius Bryant.
Not at this point, anyway. I agree with you.
And I think this Cam wasn't talked about for a couple of days, so he needed to.
Like I said, just look at all the names. We're you know, we do need depth, but we're still pretty loaded at the position, for the lack of a better term. I mean, Deontay, George, Sims, Calvin, Connor, Gunner, Cody White. I mean, we're not hurting. However, we're not great at that
Yeah.
position. But I'd like to see him. I think he is mad talented, and I think that he would do okay in the NFL if he did get to make a second run at it. But you're right. We'll see how that
Yeah.
plays out.
I don't even know how old he is.
He can't be that old. I'd guess like 28 if I had to guess.
Let's see. Tavis Bryant. He was born in 91. So what does that tell me? I can't do math. 31. 31.
31. Oh, geez,
31. That's old for a receiver. Yeah.
He's a little older than I thought.
Yeah. Yeah. Stick a fork in him and he's done.
Well, let's talk about a few possibilities, Mike.
Yes.
Bobby Wagner.
Yes.
Bobby Wagner becomes available, Mike. We wanted him last year. He, of course, was an 8-time Pro Bowler out of most of his career in Seattle. He was a 99 on Madden 2 years ago when I was playing a lot, so I know he's good. But no, Mr. Bobby Wagner, Mike, that he went to LA for the 1 year. We wanted him last year. He has now been released by the Rams.
Yes.
What I wouldn't do to see a TJ Watt, Bobby Wagner, Alex Highsmith, and Miles Jack linebacker core.
Oh,
that, my friend,
I would
take out Bush and put in Bobby Wagner. I think things change big time.
Yeah.
As far as our I mean, you got to remember the inside linebackers didn't produce any numbers last year. Nothing. No forced fumbles, no interceptions, no, nothing. You put Bobby Wagner in there, I'm like, that changes things up big time. This is one. Would you rather have for that position Bobby Wagner or the guy from Tremaine Edmonds from Buffalo? Which guy would you prefer?
Ooh.
They're both so damn good in their own way.
They are. Tremaine's a lot younger.
Yes.
Really young too, because he came in the league at like 20 years old.
That would be the difference, Mike. Would be the age. When it came down to it.
Yeah,
it would have to be that.
Yeah, because if I can't sign Tremaine Edwards for a long-term deal, I'm going after Bobby Wagner for a short-term.
They better be shuffling up in that office right now. Is all I got to say. Trying to figure out what offers and to talk to these people, and
because he was due what 12 over 12 million, over 12 and a half, 12.75 million this year, then 12 million, then 11 and a half, and then 12 in the rest of his contract. So he's probably gonna be looking for that kind of money, 10 to like $12 million a year to be signed. And the Steeler defense, man, it's already the highest paid in the league. Do we still want to keep throwing high price contracts over there, or you want to get some mid-tier players and hope that D line improves and so the middle linebacker play can improve? And then you got to figure out, you got to find money for cornerbacks, you got to find money for offensive linemen. It's gonna be interesting what they do. But I would take short-term Bobby Wagner, long-term I'd take Tremaine.
Absolutely. Again, it comes down to the ages, obviously. I'm like, this is going to lead into the next guy from Las Vegas, this cornerback. What's his name? Rock Ya-Sin, I think.
Hassan Rock Yes-Sin.
Yes, that guy. He is a big name that keeps being connected to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, we are looking for a cornerback.
They looked at him before.
And he was a name. And also TJ Edwards, linebacker from Philadelphia, was another name that I heard associated with, possibility Steelers may be interested in talking to him, checking him out, whatever. So the Rock Ya-Sin from Vegas, the corner, and also TJ Edwards were the two names that I wanted to bring up for you today.
Okay, Rock Ya-Sin. Hold on,
I like the name.
I do too, and I remember him coming out of college. I remember the Steelers were linked to him, probably picking him up in the draft, but he got picked before us in the second round. Oh, I just don't know how good he is in coverage and everything. Yeah. PFF grade, he's 65.7, so it's kind of like in there with the guys that we have now.
Right.
And who was the other player?
TJ Edwards, linebacker out of Philadelphia.
TJ Edwards. Oh. Let's see if I remember this guy. Yeah, I take him.
I didn't
125 tackles. 6'1", 242. So he has some.
How old is this guy, man? 125 tackles is a
There's a
amazing.
lot of tackles. God, hold on here. I am so behind on my research.
You're good.
Now, TJ Edwards, he is 26 years old.
So you put the three gentlemen that we spoke about, the inside linebackers. You have a youngin, a midden, and an olden, and they're all
Yeah.
pretty damn good. Who I would be happy with any of these three, to be honest with you. You look at these three guys. I mean, we're going in the right direction, right?
Yeah, you're going in the right direction. Any of these guys would be a huge, huge upgrade. You're gonna have to. Edwards is gonna look for. He's gonna have a decent contract.
Yeah.
He's just coming off of
What's some of the side numbers? Any turnovers, interceptions, forced fumbles, touchdowns?
He has 5 total sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 interceptions in his career. For his career, he has career is 389 tackles total.
125.
Yeah.
He's 20. Yeah. Wow.
So his first year he started 4 games out of 16, played in all of them. He had 30 tackles.
He's always been here. He's always in Philadelphia.
Always in Philadelphia. Yeah, he was drafted from there. Then he had 70 tackles, then 130, then 159. Last year, 99 solo tackles. 2 sacks. He just improved year over year over year. If they can't keep him, this guy's going to hit the market. Look out.
Everything that Devin Bush couldn't do.
Yeah, his market value is going to is this, I get all my stats or contract information from Sportrack, excuse me, 11.9 average salary for him.
He's the anti-Bush.
Yeah, and he's in there around, like, his contract would be similar to like someone like Miles Jack.
Okay.
Contract when he signed. Now, I wouldn't mind having, if you can get this guy and Miles Jack together,
dude,
in the middle of that defense.
Like I said, any of these three guys we just talked about in the middle of that, defense with Miles Jack, and then your 2 outs. Yeah, that becomes one of the best best linebacking cores in the league, hands down.
Yeah, any of those 2 middle linebackers, I would take. Rocky Sin, like, it cores, man. It's not a big market in free agency for corners that pop out to me, but I would look for the corner in the draft. The guy from Illinois that you talked about, what was his name? Witherspoon. Yeah. He's going to be the first one off the board. It looks like Joey Porter Jr. is projecting to be the second one. If we can get like Gonzalez out of Oregon, I would love that. Get him in the first round and then get one of these middle linebackers in the second round. That's awesome. That defense is set. And then that next pick in the draft, that number 2 pick, get an offensive lineman.
It's going to be a really fun draft. I'm excited. I really am excited about free agency.
This, man. Oh, God,
got a lot of exciting things getting ready. The positioning of where we are. It's going to be a lot of fun, man.
It is going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. So I can't wait. I can't wait. You're more ahead of me when it comes to the free agents, man. I have not had a chance yet to sit down and watch anything about free agents, read anything about free agents. This is my time of the year. Work is killing me.
Yeah, you got to stop that.
I know. I need to catch up, man. You're stealing my thunder.
Bruce Arians now with TB12 going. Bruce Arians believes. Tell me, do you believe Bruce Arians? Bruce Arians believes that the Bucs are in good hands with their quarterback Kyle Trask. Do you? I seen this. I seen the headline, and I thought I don't even know who Kyle Trask is, and I know nothing about him. And I know the coach has to say this. But realistically, who is this guy? Who is Kyle Trask?
He came out of where did he come out of? Florida. He's not that impressive. I just don't see it.
Is he a young guy? I mean,
he's young. He's 24. He was second round. He was picked in the second round.
Okay.
But I just don't. There's nothing about him that makes me go, yeah, Kyle Trask is going to be the guy to lead my team.
I think Tampa Bay is basically going to turn back into Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
You get done. Brady's done. The Gronk fun is over. All this other kind of stuff they put together to create this situation. It's all gone. Tampa Bay is going to go back to being Tampa Bay. They're going to go back to being that team that was, average at best every season. I think the party's over in Tampa.
I do too. Like he looks like an NFL quarterback. He's
Yeah.
6'5", 226, has all the measurables that you would want. But when I watched him play in college, it wasn't that impressive. I didn't see it. One of those quarterbacks that was overvalued because you need quarterbacks.
Right.
And you're going to see a lot of teams in this draft coming up reaching on quarterbacks.
A lot of people are talking about how great this this draft is for quarterbacks. I mean, I've seen people say that.
Yeah.
And I'm not even the most impressed with the guys that are considered to be the
No.
top guys.
No,
The guy from Ohio State, the guy from Alabama. I'm not seeing it. What
like to me, if like Bryce Young was just a little bit taller, I would be more
Right.
inclined to take him, because those short guys, they got to be very, very accurate. He's accurate, but I don't think he's like that Drew Brees like type accurate.
Right.
Like he would have games at Alabama like, oh my God, this dude's awesome. Other games like, okay, it's the talent around him that's doing this.
Right.
But hey, I could be wrong. I'm more like CJ Stroud. I like the way he played in college, but it's that style of play just more suited to college
Right.
in the NFL, to where kind of like, in baseball, you're like there's AAA, then the majors, and then if a guy's not good enough, too good for the minors, too good for the pros, he's a quad A player.
Right.
Is CJ Stroud going to be like that quad A quarterback that's dominant in college, not going to do it in the pros, but if there's that other tier, he would be the guy.
Yeah, I see a couple
I,
people.
I want him to be the guy, because I just like watching that kid play. I thought he was an amazing quarterback, and I want him to succeed.
I've seen on Facebook, on our site, some people were going back and forth about the quality of the quarterbacks. One guy thinks that this is one of the best drafts ever for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And there's some people that just don't. I'm one of the people that don't see it, Mike.
Yeah.
It remains to be seen.
I hope it turns into a good quarterback class, because we saw what happened when you Ben, Eli, and Phillip Rivers all come out at the same time. That was to watch that span of them play. And then if you marry that with the Joe Burrow's draft class, and then the Trevor Lawrence draft class, you get a handful of those guys from those three classes to improve. Quarterback play in the league is going to be, you're like, oh, this is perfect. We went from the Brady era, now we're going to the Mahomes era with all these young guys, and that would be perfect. And I hope at least 3 or 4 of them pan out from each class.
A couple of things before we are running late, Mike. Two things actually. Deslin DeAndre for Pitt wins the Jason Witten College Man of the Year award. Congratulations on that. And the other thing, Pitt related, before we get moving here, Penn State, Mike. Penn State will be coming to Pitt to play baseball at PNC Park on May 16th. Will be Penn State versus Pitt at PNC Park. Just might be something that some people might be interested in. You're gonna go check it out. So there you have that, Mike. Why don't you go and tell everybody about the website?
Dumyinzers.com. I'm pointing over on Ryan's screen. You can't see my finger over there, but it is the number 2 DUMYINZRS.com. You head over there. We have everything you need for us: YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, links to Facebook, Twitter's, Instagrams, email address, and the merchandise store, all at dumyinzers.com.
There you go. Go check that out, everybody. www.2winzers.com. We are on all week long, Monday through Friday, from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. We appreciate everybody for checking us out. We hope that you continue to do so. The show that we're doing today will be uploaded live tonight at 8 o'clock over on Spotify. If you just want to have your earbuds in at the gym, maybe you're trying to keep people out, like boyfriend, girlfriend, parents, put the earbuds in, listen to some Two Dumb Yinzers. It works. Believe me, it works. But this show, and like every day, will be uploaded that day at 8 o'clock on Spotify. Mike, you ready for last trivia of the week?
I am ready.
We're not going to change anything up, of course. Why would we do that? It's been an XFL week for the opening week in the XFL. So today, Mike, will be day 5 of the XFL trivia question of the day. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Here we go. Which former Oklahoma Sooner starter quarterback played for the Renegades in XFL 2.0? You may know him better for his short stint in the NFL. Let me do that again because I burped.
Yes.
Which former Alabama Sooner starting quarterback?
Alabama Sooner?
I'm sorry, Oklahoma Sooner.
There we go.
I hate you. Which former Oklahoma Sooner starting quarterback played for the Renegades in the XFL 2.0? You may know him better for his short stint in the NFL. Is that better, Mike?
Yes.
All right. And go.
Oklahoma Sooners.
Which former Oklahoma Sooner starting quarterback played for the Renegades in XFL 2.0? You may also know him better for his short stint in the NFL.
The only quarterback coming to mind is Landry Jones.
Landry Jones.
I don't think it's him, but I'm going to go with Landry Jones because it's the
But he's not an Alabama Sooner.
I don't even know where he went to college.
All right. Landry Jones. That's your pick? Final answer?
Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel.
Let's go with Johnny Manziel.
All right, here we go. Johnny Manziel. I'm locking him in. Which Oklahoma Sooner starting quarterback for the played quarterback for the Renegades in the XFL 2.0, which was the second run. But you may know him better for his short stint in the NFL. Mike says Johnny Manziel. P says no idea. And the answer is Landry Jones. Mike, you did have it.
Oh, you talked me out of it.
I talked you out of it. It was the Alabama Sooners. I'm sure that
that's what fucked me up.
That's what fucked you up.
Well, then you kept saying short stint.
Short stint in the NFL, yes, with the Steelers.
He was there for what, 3 or 4 years?
How long? Look it up real quick. I'm curious as well. I'm just reading it the way the question was written.
No. You're good. You're good.
You freak.
You're a freak. Landry fucking Jones. Pittsburgh from 2013 to 17, the Jaguars in 2018, the Raiders in 2019.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's 6 years, man. He gets his pension, man. He's been in the league long enough.
Hey, any way you slice it, you got it wrong. Johnny
8 touchdowns, 7 picks, baby. He's the Kenny Pickett
of
his era. 8 touchdowns, 7 picks.
That was his first career?
Yeah, he's the Kenny Pickett of his era.
I'll get the hell out of here. Jackass. But hey, Mike, do you have anything before we take off, man?
I had nothing. Live it up, people. It's the weekend. Drink responsibly.
Yes. Be responsible, everybody. We want to see you back next week. Hey, have a great weekend. It's going to get the weather's definitely taking a turn for the worse here. It was hot. Now it's cold. It was 70. Now it's 30. Keep warm, everybody. For Mike Ryan, the 2 Dum Yinzers, we'll see you on Monday.